So we're back at the Cooper's Ferry site, and we're over in Area A on the west side of the site. And today, as the sun got overhead and the light got really nice, we began to see some things that we hadn't really been able to see before as we've been excavating this week. And I just wanted to point some of these things out to you. So one of the things we found is over here in this unit. This is unit F, and in unit F we found this circle of different colored sediments, but on the outside of it you can see that there is a sort of a gray, harder, crusty deposit that I've seen at this site and in other sites up and down the Salmon River Canyon that typically means wood ash. So the wood ash, very likely in this case, was part of a fire. It got spread around a little bit, maybe by wind or by water. And then it got wet, and then as it gets wet and dries, it turns into sort of a low-grade concrete. So it's actually not super hard, but when you're troweling it, it sort of makes your trowel ring. You can tell it's there. In the middle, in this darker colored sediment, I won't be surprised when we excavate it that it'll show things like burned food remains, that is like bones and shell. It'll probably have really small amounts of plant parts from people using plants and maybe preparing them. We sometimes even find the discarded remains of fire-cracked rock, so it will start to disintegrate and break down. People will sweep it up and dump it into the hearth. And the students, when they encounter this, they often refer to this as crunchy dirt. And the crunchy dirt also sometimes has little tiny bits of flakes that are coming off of pressure flaking to resharpen tools. So people will sweep up around, they'll dump stuff into the fire to keep it neat and clean. Sometimes so it'll be concentrated often in that part.
So just any size mark.
So as the sun got in a nice position, we could also see another feature. This area right here has some discolored sediment, and it goes up into the wall a little bit. And this very likely is a pit feature, because in the wall in 1997, we actually could see a discolored sediment layer that I've always been curious to know if it will extend onto this floor. And now that we're deep enough, we're starting to see these really weird colored contrasts between dark colored sediment and light colored sediment. As the students dig these features out, what they're going to do is the stuff that's inside the feature, that we're going to keep this, put it into a bag, and send it to a specialist that's going to look for lots and lots of little microscopic parts of plants and animals and maybe give us a better idea of what it was used for. So as if it wasn't enough to find these other two features, we also noticed this area with discolored sediment that has been sitting in the sun all day long, so we don't think it's just a moisture thing. But it appears that at the very end of the deposition of this brown layer that we call layer 6, someone may have dug a pit down into this lighter colored sediment here and incorporated the one into the other. So eventually we'll get to seeing what's inside this, and we really don't know what it contains. We don't know what any of these contain yet, but that's the excitement of it. We'll excavate them and figure it out. The nice thing about features is that they tell us about the activities of people beyond just the individual artifacts. So we can learn things about what they're eating, how much of something they're eating, perhaps what they're throwing away and what they're keeping, and what the environment was like around them even. So we're very excited to find these. It's been tremendous in Area A to be able to make other discoveries too, that now on both sides of the site, Area A and Area B, we're finding lots and lots of these kinds of features, and it's just really excellent.